In order to get your prayers answered, you have to be patient. Hey y'all, it's your girl Miss Right, and today I want to talk to you about patience. Why? Because patience is a virtue. What does virtue mean? Virtue is behavior showing high moral standards, right? That means you know you're gonna get your prayer answered. So it's coming from a place of confidence. When you are confident that God will answer your prayers and that you are deserving of those prayers, there are steps that you may need to do in between time while you're waiting for the answer to your prayers. Sometimes it's not wrecking your brain, but sometimes it's just being, right? Let's just be. Let's just become our best self. One thing that's out of our control is when your prayer will be answered. But one thing that is in your control is becoming. That is practicing the fruits of the Spirit and becoming a better version of yourself to be able to withstand whatever you are praying for. So if you're praying for something big, you have to be able to step into those shoes in order to get those prayers answered. If you're not ready for it, you can fumble it. And we not fumbling no prayers in this season. So if you're lacking patience in any area of your life, it's because you're lacking the confidence in your ability to receive it. If you ever feel impatient, you need to go find something that you can control, right? Leave God's work up to Him, which is His timing and His perfect will, and focus on cultivating what God has already given you. Sometimes that's what gratitude is all about. It's not the words you speak out of your mouth saying, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. No, it's your action behind how you properly care for everything that God has given you, be it home, children, car, your lifestyle, your job, whatever it is. If God has already given it to you, it's time for you to cultivate it until your prayers are answered. If you always looking for the next best thing, you're never being grateful because you're not focusing on cultivating what's already on your plate, what's already in front of you. So having lack of patience really determines where your energy lies. Are you vibrating on a low level frequency or a high level frequency? You'll know which level your frequency is on by how you allow the inner me to keep you stagnant in any area of your life. The inner me, not the enemy. We all can talk a good talk, but can we walk it like we talk it? Walk it like we talk it. But can we really walk it like we talk it? Most of us are spiritually immobile because we are weak. You have to strengthen your spiritual life so that your patience can grow. It all ties in together. Everything in this world is connected, okay? And when you don't feed the God in you, you starve. And now you spiritually underweight. And your spiritual muscles get weak. You still focusing on your physical strength and how well you can fight, but your spiritual strength is very weakened. It's time to change priorities. It's time to get in the spiritual gym. Work on your prayer life, like how much time you spend talking to God. And not just talking to God, but also listening to God. You must transform your thoughts in order to renew your mind, right? Romans 12:2 tell us that we must transform our thoughts by renewing our mind. This is best performed when you speak over yourself early in the morning before anyone else can speak to you or get your attention, before the cell phone can even get your attention, and all throughout your day. Speak over yourself. It's enough people that's speaking on a low level frequency. So it's up to you to speak highly over yourself. Speak life into yourself. And then, of course, we have to walk in the Spirit according to Galatians 5:16. So when you're not walking, oftentimes that means you're stagnant. Galatians 5:16 says this: So I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of your flesh. So being impatient is gratifying the desires of your flesh, and that is being stagnant, because this verse just told us that we have to be walking. So if you're not walking, 9 times out of 10, you're being stagnant. And when you're being stagnant, you're focusing on your wants and desires of the flesh. And you're not really focusing on what God is trying to tell you or what God is trying to tell you to do in order to receive that blessing. So I want all of your prayers to be answered. I want you to receive all of your blessings. And we're going to go ahead and get into the Self-Care Weekly Project, which is exactly talking about quiet patience. All right. So let's read that. The scripture they have is Psalms chapter 62, verse 1 and 2 from The Voice. My soul quietly waits for the true God alone. It ain't waiting for nobody else to answer it. Not your mama, not your daddy, not your greasy. Okay. My salvation comes from him. He's the one that saved you out of every pit you dig yourself into. He's the one that saved you from the enemy and the inner me as well, right? He alone is my rock and my deliverance, my citadel high on the hill. I will not be shaken. So when you know that your prayer gonna get answered, that God is a big God and he gonna answer that prayer, you ain't gonna be shaken up about when in God's perfect timing. Sometimes self-care means waiting with quiet patience. When you feel overwhelmed, you, like most people, tend to grasp at straws, looking for anything that might help you. But God doesn't want you to just jump from bubble baths to face masks to yoga. While those things are all beneficial, they won't fix your problems. God is the only one who can give you true rest and healing. The next time you feel overwhelmed, turn to God first in quiet patience and see how he guides you towards the best kind of rest. He will give your mind rest. He will give you sweet rest in the physical form as well. But sometimes we just have to unwind the mind. Sometimes we have to get a mental break as well. We stressing our mind out. It's moving, it's going back and forth and back and forth. Just be. Release those thoughts. I want you to sit with yourself throughout the day for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Just sit with yourself, go within, release all thoughts, release all expectations. And you need to really just sit there and commune and listen to God. Don't even ask for nothing. Just sit there and be. Enjoy the present moment. Just be. Whatever it is, it's going to be answered. And if it's not going to be answered the way that you expected, then that just means because it wasn't for you. God may have something greater in store for you, which may take a little longer to put together just for you. But your impatience and your lack of doing the work on your part in order to be able to fit those shoes that you asking for, have patience. So let's go over the questions. Today we got 3 questions that you can work on in your spare time that will help you with your patience. Number 1. What are some self-care solutions you've been jumping to lately? So for me, self-care solutions that I've been jumping to is discipline. Having more discipline in my life so that I can focus on what I can control, right? And accountability. Because if we always looking for somebody else to blame, 9 times out of 10, you may try to blame God for it. And that's lightweight blasphemy. We ain't having that. When the person it really boiled down to is yourself. Number 2, have any of those things given you the true, genuine healing that you need? And number 3, have you tried giving those problems over to God instead? Ooh, why or why not? Okay, well, I hope you guys get y'all some patience, some understanding, and some wisdom in this season so that you'll know how to move with quiet patience, so that you'll know how to move and keep your focus on God no matter what the situation may look like, but knowing that the one who created you and the one that created everything has your best interest at heart. He said he will give you the desires of your heart. So take some time out and build your spiritual strength up. Get in that spiritual gym. Get to work. You got some work to do to get your prayers answered. And if you don't have any work to do, then you have some work to just be. Okay? So in this season, either you are working or you are just being. Get you some rest. This is your winning season. Don't let the devil keep anything that belongs to you. You got to take it by force. And it's not a physical force, but it's a spiritual force. So get in that spiritual gym. Let's lift them weights and get spiritually tough in the Lord. Until next time, let's grow.